has business been for you guys lately?
Been busy.
Well, that's good to hear. So when you say busy, busy with getting appointments or busy doing what?
Yeah, we in the last 2 weeks, I think we got 8 listings.
Wow. Well,
With
that's good.
2 more on the way.
Well, that's good. So, how did these listings come about? What brought the listings?
We showed some clients a property that we're wholesaling, and they knew of a company in Australia that is trying to sell properties here that are already tenanted.
Okay.
And they just asked us to put a bunch of them on on the listings. So that's what we've been doing recently. And it's kind of complicated. Like, we have to contact property managers to take pictures. It's not like standard listings at all. We're waiting for people to sign docs because they are in a different time zone. So it's got a lot of layers to it.
Okay.
And they call late at night.
Yeah, we're on the phone till midnight every time we're on a call.
Wow. So that's because of the time zone?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice though that you got a new set of customer where you can bring some more business to the table. So the more you can find stuff like that, because that's the name of the game, is you got to find listings, right? Because that's the only way you're ever going to grow into a team that's going to have multiple pieces. Is listings is the driver of it all. Without them, you have nothing, right? Because we can't survive off just constantly going after buyers. Right? It's not a smart goal when it comes to trying to measure your business when you're concentrating just on buyers, because time consumption alone is just not worth it. Considering that a buyer is 2 opportunities for a sale, where a listing's 5 opportunities for a sale, and then a listing has more post opportunities as well, which can lead to consistent flow of business every time you get a new listing. Do you know the 5 opportunities?
I think you told us, but I don't know right offhand now.
Seller.
Mm-hmm.
Seller buys a house. You find a buyer that buys that listing. You get a referral from that seller, and you pick up another listing in the neighborhood. Right? Those are your 5 opportunities. And the way you get those 5 opportunities is through pre-listing, present listing, and post-listing. Right? All my marketing hitting in the market, coming soons, etc. And then obviously my present marketing, once the house is on the market, open houses, etc. And then once we sell their property, sending out just solds and letting people know that the home sold, and determining if we can find someone who's interested in selling their house based on their home value. Right.
So we have to get consistent with that. I would say we do a really good job of marketing the house, and sometimes we do a good job with pre-marketing the house.
So one thing that helps is if you're using listings to leads, they have a checklist, right? And there's a checklist for everything. There's a checklist for coming soon. There's a checklist for active listing. There's a checklist for pending. There's a checklist for open house. There's a checklist for sold. And every time you move to status, you go down that checklist and you follow that marketing plan that helps you remember to get those things out. The only thing that's missing on that checklist is advertise it on Google My Business. But that's coming soon. They're going to add that to it. But if you follow through on those procedures every single time you get a listing, no matter what, we're going to complete every last checklist, everything on that checklist, every time you change the status. That's when you become consistent.
Well, listings to leads, it definitely works. What we're trying to learn is how to convert those.
So now,
because sometimes they give us phone numbers, sometimes they don't.
Well, here's the thing you got to remember for both of you is not every lead that you get is going to turn into an opportunity, right?
Right.
If you got 100 leads, you can expect one opportunity for every 100 leads. So that means 99 leads of every 100 are going nowhere. So that's a 10% ratio, right? That's a good conversion ratio that we're going to get 10% of the leads, which is you need 100 of them to get that, right?
Oh, that's good to know. So, okay. It's almost like door knocking statistics or ratios.
Yeah, everything's all about numbers, right?
Yeah, door knocking is 100.
That's internet leads is 1 in 100. Working with leads from Zillow, I think is like 1 in 24. So everything Realtor.com 1 in 24, because it comes down to it's the intentional versus non-intentional marketing, right? Or when you're looking at what does that mean? Intentional is someone goes on Google or they go on Craigslist and they type in homes for sale in Appleton, right? That means at that moment they're sitting at the computer thinking about possibly buying a home. They're physically online searching that information. Those leads, when they come across like a Zillow or a website where they see a listing, they click on it, that's someone who's more intentional because they actually searched it out and they're looking for it, which means they're easier to convert and more likely to lead to an opportunity because they're physically online looking. Unintentional marketing is what a lot of us do, and it's not a bad thing, is we have ads that we create on Facebook. Someone's online, they're just looking at their newsfeed. Oh, how's my mommy doing today on Facebook? And all of a sudden, as they're scrolling through, they see an ad that says, you're looking to buy a home? Click here to see a list of all homes for sale in Appleton, right? And they click. Now, because they click, does that mean they're looking to buy a house? Probably not.
Definitely not.
Maybe it is. Maybe they were looking for a home, but they're already working with an agent. And maybe just want to see if there's something out there the agent's not sending them. There's so many different opportunities, but that leads to an unintentional lead because they weren't intentionally seeking that out. It just happened to pop in front of them and it caught their interest to click. It's called clickbait, right? You start to scroll and they said, "Ooh, that's interesting." Click, right? Maybe they're sitting at home and the wife is bored and says, "Oh, I want to redecorate my house. Let's look at this listing and see if we can find some decorating ideas," right? There's so many different reasons. Which is why when we call them, we get a lot more leave me the hell loans or here's fake phone numbers and so forth because they weren't really interested. They just had to put their information to get that info that they wanted.
Didn't you say there was something different with it publishing or something with the last two?
Well, there's two ways to do it. You can do it through Facebook or you can do it where they have to either put their phone number or email in. And we started with they would just click it through Facebook, and we wouldn't even have the opportunity to get their phone number. So we started doing it the other way, to where they can put their phone number in if they like, which most people don't, but that's okay because the phone numbers that they're putting in. And some people put in 1, 2, 3, 9, and 0, but some people actually a few are putting their phone numbers, but we're also using the text link, and that thing is pretty sweet.
Oh, I thought you were saying there was something that wasn't publishing.
Oh, yeah. Well, Facebook changed. That Facebook changed. You can't pinpoint audiences anymore. So
you can no longer use target exclusions. You can no longer do a lot of inclusions. Well, you can still do targeting by Zillow, Realtor.com, and stuff like that. But you can't target by age. You can't target by sex. You can't target less than 15 miles of a city, and all that stuff. It's different, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work.
No.
Right, because in the end, Facebook has still got a lot of data that they use to determine if someone is interested in their product, and they're still using their searches and how they work on Facebook to determine who those things are still going in front of, regardless of the targeting. They just took it from us because HUD made a big deal.
Yeah, Christina brought that up because our ads weren't going anywhere. We were like, man, these ads aren't running, but they didn't approve them all. So we had to go in and figure So we ended up just stripping pretty much everything out for the most part, but I didn't know that we could still
Nope.
do the
Yeah.
farm
So
stuff.
okay, so let's go because you said you don't your lead conversions are weak point. So okay, so now that you know that you're only trying to get that 1 in 100 when you're thinking about internet leads, is obviously you're filtering through a lot more garbage to find the cream of the crop, right? So there's methods of doing it. It's either you're doing it yourself and you're following up yourself many times, or you're automating the process, right? Like, so for me, I'm an automated to process type, right? I'm using a company called Agent Legend, right? So the great thing about Agent Legend, it's an automated software, but the consumer doesn't know it's automated because they're getting voicemails, text message, and emails, but those things are so short that they think it's really us doing it, right? So for an example, someone comes in, they click on a property from listings to leads. It says, "Hi there, Charles here. Just wanted to give you a quick follow-up. You clicked on one of my properties on Facebook. Just wanted to give you a call, make sure you got the information. See if there's any questions you have and schedule a private showing. I'm available at my number for the next hour or so if you want to give me a call back. I'll look forward to talking to you soon." And then 5 minutes later, an email goes out. "Hey, thanks for inquiring about my property at 123 Anyway Street. Is there any information that I can help you with? Do you want to schedule a private showing?" Short and sweet. And then 5 minutes later, text message goes out. "Hey there, Charles here. You inquired about 123 Anyway Street. Just wanted to follow up with you. I left you a voicemail 10 minutes ago. Just want to make sure I come back around to you, see if you want to take a look at that home." They think it's you doing it the whole time. Right? Now, what's going to be great about that is the person who responds back and says, "Yes, I want to go look at that home." Now you know who you're gonna talk to that lead, right? You say, "Oh, fantastic. When's a good time for you?" And you're responding back. The other 99 are gonna say, "Piss off, leave me alone," or you're gonna find out the phone number that doesn't work. But at least it's not you wasting hours on the phone trying to figure it all out, right?
Fantastic.
So that's with the system flow, right?
Right.
And so something like that, when you sign up for your contract for 200 voice messages, 200 text messages a month, it's 169 a month. But the great thing about that is, I know my time's more valuable. If I did it, I'm going to probably call 100 people. That'll probably take me all day, every single day to do that.
Right.
I'd be working those leads 8 hours a day.
Right.
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 How does Agent Legend get their contact information?
Okay, so on listings to leads, when they fill out their name, phone number, and email, it's the Agent Legend helps you connect those accounts. So when you get that email that says, "Hey, you got a new lead, here's their number," it rolls into Agent Legend automatic through forwarding, and then Agent Legend puts them on that campaign. It's slick. And then now we're following up to people who want to be followed up with, right? Now, and then from there, when the leads, you get that lead who does start responding, you have to then follow the LP Mama script, right? Have you ever heard that term, LP Mama? So it stands for location, right? Price, motivation, agent, mortgage, appointment, right? Those are 6 things that you should be discussing on a phone call or a conversation with a consumer to determine, are they a serious customer, right? So they inquire about my property at 123 Anyway Street in Appleton, Wisconsin. So when I'm calling them, I say, "Hey, so you inquired about my property at 123 Anyway Street in Appleton. Is Appleton the area you're looking in? Is there other cities nearby you're interested in as well?" Well,
Can you tell me what the initials were again?
LPMAMA. LP.
And what do they stand for?
Location,
Uh-huh.
price, motivation, agent, mortgage, appointment. So from there, we're asking the location, right? What other areas are you interested in? Right? What neighborhoods, etc. the property you inquired about is listed at $250,000. Is that the price range you're looking to be in, or is that too much for you? What do you need to be higher? Oh no, we're looking more 300,000 and above. Great, bam, right? Has anybody been sending you good deals? Has anybody been taking you out to look at homes, or have you been just going to open houses trying to determine if they're working with an agent? Right? Never ask them, are you working with an agent? Because that's the fastest way for them to get you off the phone. They'll just say yes for getting you off the phone, right? Motivation. So far it sounds like you're looking for a house in the Appleton area of the 300,000 or above. What was your goal to be in this home? Are you thinking the next 30 days, or are you still some time away? No, we're probably at least 6 months out. Right? Okay, great. So now we know there's 6 months. Out of curiosity, what's holding you back? Why you have to wait 6 months? Right? So you can get that reason, so it gives you all reasons to follow up as well. Right? And then from there, you're going to go into mortgage. So if you were to get this house at $300,000 in the Appleton area, how are you planning on paying for it? Are you going to be paying all cash, or do you need to get a mortgage? Oh, well, yeah, we're definitely going to need a mortgage. Okay, no worries at all. Have you been in contact with a lender to figure out what you can afford and if that's you've been pre-approved? Well, no, we haven't got to that point yet. Okay, no worries at all. Would you care if I give your number to my lender and have them reach out to you? You got top rates in the area. It can save you thousands and thousands of dollars on your mortgage if you just give them 10 minutes of your time. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and do that, right? And then from there, you set the appointment to meet with them. That's LP Mama going through that protocol. Now, that person says, I'm 6 months out, right? That's a person then who needs to be nurtured. Where most businesses lost today in the real estate game is during the nurture process. That's where 90% of all lead loss happens.
Yeah.
Because most agents says, okay, I'll follow up with you in 6 months from now. See you. Talk to you 6 months. And then 6 months goes by, they call and say, hey, I talked to you 6 months ago about buying a house. No, I don't need your help. We bought a house already. AJ's walking around, stomping his feet, calling that buyer a liar. Like, you don't know what this situation was because you never took the time to stay in touch to see if something would have changed, right? Maybe you got a promotion. Maybe a house came up they couldn't pass up, whatever it could be. But because you elected to not stay in touch, they don't even remember who you were, right? The opportunity existed for another agent because of your lack of staying in touch, right? Like Jared said the other day, he said at the advance, Zillow and stuff, they all thrive because agents are weak, right? We buy our leads back from us because we don't stay in touch with these people that already know and like us. Our past clients are going to Zillow's and putting in their information in, and we're losing business from our past clients because we do not stay in touch, right? Zillow could not do what they do if agents would just do a better job staying in touch with people so they wouldn't have to go to those sites to find out information, right?
So what's your suggestion on staying in touch?
That's what we're talking about. I want you to write down 3 letters, A, B, C. All right. A is 0 to 30 days. They're thinking about buying or selling real estate. If you determine that they're 30 days or less, you're going to call them every single week, once a week. Okay. B is 30 to 90 days. If they're that time frame, you're going to call them every 2 weeks. C's are 90-day plus. You call them once a month. Right?
Okay.
So now there's a plan that needs to happen, right? When you talk to them, you need to set an expectation that you're going to follow up, right? Mr. Seller, okay, if you can't buy a house for at least 60 days because of XYZ, I'd like to be able to stay in touch with you to see where you're at on that process, to make sure you stay on track and just provide value. So when you are ready to buy a home, you are well informed, well prepared to hit the market, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is follow through on the expectation. Nothing's worse than you tell a seller, I'm going to call a client, I'm going to call you every 2 weeks, and you don't do it. Right? Number 3 is you're going to set a new expectation, right? So let's say I talk to them. Hey, now, yeah, you talk to them and everything. Before you get off the phone, you're going to set another expectation, right? that you're going to follow up again with them in 2 weeks, right? Number 4 is you have to ask for business, right? Hey, I promised my family that I would help 25 families this year. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. Who should I be talking to? Right? And then you close with a new expectation. And that's the same thing. You follow that 5-step plan with your SOI as well, right? Everyone had an SOI member say, oh yeah, I'm going to be going on a family vacation. We're going to Disney World and we're super excited. Great. There's an opportunity to set an expectation. Hey, tell you what, Christina, would you care if I follow up with you after the vacation to see how it was? Because I'm thinking about taking my kids to Disneyland as well. I'd love to hear your experience. Would it be okay with you? You say, oh yeah, absolutely. Boom. Now you put that reminder in your CRM, follow up with on this date when they get back from vacation, so I can follow through on that expectation. Right? Always looking for those opportunities to have a reason to reach out to them. You have those, when people start adding a reason to contact someone, they start to eliminate that fear that they have with contacting them. Because now that person's expecting that you're going to call them. And if you don't call them, you're just a jackass who doesn't follow through.
Right.
Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you lead to better lead conversion. Do all those things, you should be able to convert 10 to 15% of all leads that come through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You should be able to get more referrals.
You said something really important that I had forgot, and that is categorizing them, as far as the dates and then with the contacts. That's something that I learned a long time ago, but I forgot. So that's really good. But the first piece of it is super helpful too, because we're generating a lot of leads right now, and we have, just through the listings to leads, doing what you said to do, and we have all of these other listings that are coming on, and so that's going to be even more. So we were kind of like, how in the world can we keep up with that? So that's good as far as that, and then basically whittling down, automating the first part of the conversion to where we're actually only dealing with an actual person that's interested, and then actually following up with them. So that's good.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So a big piece there is now on that automation portion of it. I call it my 10 days of pain. That portion of it needs to be at least 10 days out total. And in those 10 days, I have literally 20 attempts. Right? Text, email, phone call, right? You're trying to hit them in many different directions to try to get them on the phone. We don't care if we're pissing off 99 people, right? Because I'm only looking for that one person that's going to say yes. It cost me $300. It cost me $500 to get these 99 people in my CRM, but I made $5,000. So it cost me $500 a deal. Right? $500 a transaction is good. Everybody's like, oh, it cost me $5 late. Doesn't care. I don't care how much your lead costs. End of the day is how much does the transaction cost you, right? Because you're not working with 100 leads, so it doesn't matter what the cost per lead is, right? Cost per transaction is what we're tracking, right? So it cost me $500 to get these 100 leads. I got one transaction, so that means the cost for a transaction was $500, but I made $5,000. That's a no-brainer in ROI, right?
No-brainer, yeah.
Right? So everybody's always looking at, oh my God, I don't get enough leads responding. I don't get enough leads responding. Who cares? Just get to one. Right? Sometimes you might get two.
Right.
And sometimes you might even get three. And that when that happens, awesome. But don't go in there with the expectation that's always going to happen. I'm looking for one. Change your mindset to that, then you won't worry about all of those things that you started to call off with. Some will put their phone numbers and some, in the end, it doesn't matter. We're looking for one yes.
So with the ones that don't put their phone numbers in, with the automated process, it's just going to be during the email portion of it.
Once they determine the phone number is wrong, it will then just keep going forward with an email.
Okay.
The great thing about Agent Legend is when they respond and say, leave me the hell alone, go away, or yes, I'm interested, the campaign turns off automatically.
Oh, wow.
So it no longer sends them any more of that script. So then you don't look silly talking to the lead, and then 5 minutes later they get a text message. You're like, dude, what the hell?
Right.
I just talked to you. Now I don't want to talk to you anymore. F off, leave me alone.
Right.
You don't ever want that to happen, so Agent Legends campaigns automatically turn off.
That's nice.
So you should definitely look into that because automating the process makes things so much easier. It's like kind of having a mini ISA.
Mm-hmm.
And the great part of it, nobody knows it's automated. The consumer will never know. They hear your voice. They see the what do you call it? Personalization, and they think it's you actually talking to them, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
Yeah, and then you lead to better conversation ratios, which then leads to better conversion ratios, right? And that's a
Do
big.
you know anything about Lion's Desk? I think it's a similar type thing.
Lion Desk is a CRM, but they don't do voicemail drops.
Okay, I think they just do texts, maybe.
Yeah, all CRMs do that. Jarja, text, email, all CRMs do that. But the part that is missing in all the CRMs is the ability to drop a voicemail.
Okay.
Because now they hear your voice, right? People miss that phone calls still do matter. Right? Because there are going to be people who are going to call you back rather than text you. Because there's still people that believe in talking to other humans on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And it still exists today. Even millennials, there's millennials that believe in actual voice-to-voice. So that's why we're trying to hit them from all different angles so they can respond to the one that's most comfortable with them. Now, if someone texts you and they respond back, don't call them.
Right.
Continue with the text because they told you that's their preferred way of contact.
Right.
If they email you, keep going back and forth on email because that's
Right.
their preferred way of contact. If they contact you on instant messenger and Facebook, keep going through that way of communication. I mean, you can ask them, hey, do you prefer to talk on the phone? And they'll say, no, I'd rather keep doing it this way, and then just keep doing the way they prefer. Don't ever switch it up and do something different. That's the fastest way to lose a lead.
Right.
Right? It's the psychology of leads, right? Just keep going through how they prefer to be communicated with, right? We're still driving the ship, but we're not going to lose control.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So there you go. I hope all that answers your questions.
No, that's huge. That's really big because Christina and I were just talking about this morning. We were like, wow, we want a business that serves us ultimately, right? And we're like, man, it seems like we're serving the business more. However, with automating things, that's going to take that down a lot. So that's good.
What are your thoughts, Christina?
Pretty much the same because it kind of feels like we're on a hamster wheel that we can't get off of. So that would definitely assist.
Yes, it will, 100%. It will assist you in at least getting some of that stuff off your plate. Because in the end, then, I love just talking to the people who want to talk to me. No, who likes talking to strangers, right? Who likes being called all kinds of names when you're talking to leads, right? We all have heard them. We've all been called, God knows, whatever they think of at the top of their brain. I've heard crap I've never heard before. I got called an asshat, whatever that means. I'm like, okay, that's a new one. I said, And the funny thing is, you kill them with kindness. Some people react by being negative right back. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. You know, what makes me an asshat, sir?" Seriously, I mean, what are you going to say after that point? You bothered me, and you're like, no. Let me ask you, sir. How would you feel if someone called you an asshat? How would that make you feel? Do you find that it's acceptable?
Right.
Right? They'll just bring them right back down instead of knee-jerk reaction. Like, after it gets you nowhere.
Right.
Right? It's just get down and just get them off the ledge. Right? Kill stupidity with kindness.
That's it. That's it.
Because eventually it's going to be hard for them to keep saying stuff when you're being so nice. Right?
Right.
Just remember, there's one thing that'll never happen. They'll never, ever do it face-to-face.
Right. Right.
Very easy for someone to do that when they're talking to someone on the phone. So, all right. So I want you to do now, as a homework assignment, I want you to sign up for Agent Legend. I want you to get that rolling. I want you to start building your campaigns in there. Agent Legend will help you with their customer service support. Is amazing. They will help you through it all. And once you got it signed up, you'll get Jared. They'll give you Jared James. Make sure you tell them you're with Charles Robbins, Jared James coaching, so you can get the Jared James scripts added into it. Right? And then first thing you do is, I'm sure you got hundreds and hundreds of old leads that you probably haven't called in a long time.
Yeah.
They got a campaign in there called Old Leads Re-Engage.
Okay.
You only can upload 50 a day, but every day you upload 50 of those old leads. I'm sure there's probably some missing transactions in there that you'll get your hands on.
For sure. That's pretty sweet.
So get that, build your ABC plan in your CRM as reminders, or on your calendar. This day I'm going to call A's, this day I'm going to call B's. Start developing that system, nurtures, and I want you to start role-playing with each other, practicing the LP Mama, so you get comfortable with asking those questions when you're on the phone with a lead, or if you're texting that lead, because that's going to lead you to getting the better information you need to help them during that nurture process, or to help them if they're ready to go right now.
All right. I want to also just let you know another, I guess it's a little problem that I've been having with regards to what we're doing here. So we have the transaction coordinator who's trying to help out and things like that. And then I'm also, I shouldn't say we are implementing, listening to leads, Facebook, and then we're also we're working on building out the sphere of influence from actually reading the book, doing the script and things like that. Getting all the information, the address and all that stuff. So we're actually, doing that, the way you refer. However, I feel like I have too many projects going along with keeping up with the business. So this goes into project and time management, because it's not just time management. We have multiple projects. So
and our property management.
Right.
Our property manager gave notice. So in like a week, we have to take all that back.
Right. Our property manager got really sick, and
you got a week to hire someone else.
Yeah.
Right. It's not for me. It's not. I'm taking that back. It's like, no, I'm hiring someone else that's going to replace it when that week is over. That they're in place already.
Right. Okay.
Right. I wouldn't even be thinking about I'm taking it back. Nope. Who do we need to hire?
Right.
right? That's your thought process, right?
And that's what I did last time because I had someone else that was a college intern, and their internship ended, so they couldn't work in the United States legally. So we hired a property manager. So yeah, you're right. We need to just jump on hiring somebody quick.
Jumps and hire someone new, right? Now you're talking about projects as far as thing. Technically, I haven't given you more than 2 lines in the water, right? SOI, Core 100, that's all one line in the water, really, building your SOI. And now talking about how to convert leads, that's because you should be marketing your listings, right?
Yeah.
I haven't got into let's prospect FISBOs, let's prospect expireds, let's start doing door knocking campaigns, let's start looking into farming. Oh, no, if I threw that at you now.
Right. 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 Right.
But I know the book of business has to happen because that is the most important line in the water by far, period. Right?
And we're working on it, and I'm going to tell you, it really works. One of the listings that we just got is from an old client, and it was just from reaching out to her. I told her I was, like, hey, I got the wrong phone number, and I think I commented on her Facebook information, and she sent us a client, and she's in New York, and her client, the person who owns the property, is out of state too. They're in Texas. So I agree with you. It definitely works. Just time management, really. Managing, I did read an article on it, the makers versus the manager schedule. And I'm not sure if you ever read that article, but it's basically showing like the manager basically blocks their time off into like 30 minutes or whatever you have to do for meetings and things of that sort. But the maker, in order to get this system stuff done, like you need 90 minutes of just blocked out, no interruption time. So just trying to make that adjustment has been a little bit difficult because I'm used to being a manager. Like I just do things in little bits.
Here's the thing is there's 2 of you. All right. I'm gonna work on this. Christina's gonna work on this. All right. You guys got an advantage there, right? I don't need to do all of it. I don't need to do all of it. Let's sit together, let's talk, and let's figure out which projects I can do, which project you can do. Right? So this way we have enough time throughout the day to get these projects done. Right? Because in the end, there's 7 non-negotiables when it comes to your day every single day. And I'm gonna let you know what those are, right? Number 1 is you have to have a morning routine. Your fuel up. What is your morning routine every single morning? First thing in the morning. What do you do to get your mind, your body in the right state of mind? Prepare for the day you're gonna have. Okay? That has to happen every day, no matter what. Number 2, a la carte mastery, practicing scripts and dialogues, right? Don't practice in front of clients. Role play together, master these things like we just talked about the LP model or how to talk to leads. Number 3, know your inventory, right? You spend 5 to 10 minutes a day looking at your inventory, know what's going on in your market. So when someone asks you how the real estate market is, you can talk intelligently about different things that you know by because you kept track of your inventory, right? Number 4, and this is the most important thing on the list, and this has to happen every day, prioritize the creation of new business over the management of existing business and all other activities. Period. At the end of the day, if you came to the office, you did everything else, and you did not do that, you have failed that day.
That's what you told me last week, and our business has been increasing. Or not last week, but a couple weeks ago.
So that's the number 4. Number 5, have 10 new conversations every day. Right? Because here's the thing is, most people know 41 conversations equals 1 new client. Right? So think about this. If I work 5 days a week, right? That is 20 days. If I'm taking weekends off, 20 times 41, right? That's 20 times 41. That's only 820 conversations, right? So take that 41, 820 conversations divided by 41. You would, whatever. You would get deals by doing that, right? 41 conversations equals a client, right? So if I want 4 clients, I need to talk to 164 people. If I want 8 clients, just times double that, right? Now, what's my close ratio? If I get 8 clients, I close half of them, right? So that means I got to talk to this many people to get this many clients to get this many deals, right? So that's number 5. Number 6, follow up with people a minimum of 30 minutes a day. No matter what, you should be having time on your schedule to do follow-ups, nurtures, right? That nurture process, calling A's, calling B's, calling C's. And then number 7, plan for tomorrow. Plan what's your next day going to look like, right? Those are 7 non-negotiables that have to happen every single day in your schedule, right? Those things matter. Everything else is secondary to that, right? After you prospect for 2 hours a day and you've done your follow-ups, you've done all those things, now I'll spend some time working on my business. That's the key.
The interesting part about that is it seems like in the morning, like really early, I'm not getting as many incoming calls. In the afternoon, I'm getting a lot more.
I don't take calls as they come in, ever. Why? Because I have a dedicated time when I'm going to return those calls, right? Because number one way to disrupt your business is picking up the phone every time it rings. For one, it leads to people taking up more time than deserve to be taken, right? A 5-minute conversation turns to a 30-minute conversation, and now you've lost 30 minutes of your day. And then what happens to that? Oh, I guess that goes to the back burner because I wasted 30 minutes with a customer who didn't deserve to have 30 minutes of my time, right? So I'm going to give you a very, very, very simple schedule, and I'll have you guys write it down. Give me a second here. And this schedule has been working for many, many, many students because it is super easy. Do you have the time? Okay. So first thing in the morning when you get up, all right, that is your morning routine. And if it's from 7 a.m. to blank, but the goal is to be in the office by 8 a.m. All right. Morning routines before that. Now, here's a great thing. From 8 to 8:30 a.m., that's your lead generation prep time. That's when you go to the office and you practice your scripts. You practice some role playing. You prepare your contacts for your prospecting time. From 8:30 to 11 a.m. is lead generation. Right? That's your time dedicated to generating leads, calling for sale by owners, calling expired listings, calling just listed, just sold, calling your sphere of influence, past clients, etc. From 11 to 12, that's business servicing. That's responding to your emails, returning text messages, returning phone calls, servicing your listings, servicing your current buyers, right? From 12 to 1 is lunch, right? You go to lunch, take a break from work. That means walk away, get out of the office, no putting crumbs in your keyboard, right? To take a break from work, go eat with a spouse. Go eat with a friend. Go eat with a coworker. Go eat with a past client, someone that you want to add to your core 100. Right? And then when you get back from lunch from 1 to 2 p.m., lead conversion time. Right? That's following up with all potential listing and buyer leads that have already been generated, but they need to be converted to appointments. Right? I got a bunch of leads that came in from listings and leads, and some of them responded. I need to now convert them into an appointment. Right? From 2 to 3, back to business servicing, return those emails, return those text messages, return those calls, right? So we do that twice per hour a day. I'm not picking this thing up. every moment it rings. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then from 3 to 6 p.m., that's the time we dedicate for getting more for our appointments. Go on listing appointments, go on showing properties, etc. And if we don't have any appointments for that day, we're going to prospect for another 3 hours. And then 6 p.m. plus, you're home by 6:30 each night. Enjoying the rest of your day.
Until the Australians call.
We got them down to once or twice. We got them down to once or twice a week.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's nothing we can really do to fix that one because that's such a huge time zone change.
Yeah.
But for the most part, though, this is a very simplified schedule that you can really manage. Right?
Well, what I do like about it is basically after 6:30 or so, you kind of clocked out for the most part, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good.
Good. There you go. Simple, right?
Yeah.
In theory, now we gotta do the application.
Yes. Now you got to apply.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for you today. Our next call is on the 31st, Halloween. And all my students that are on Halloween calls are required to wear a costume. But it is at 12 Eastern.
12 on the 31st.
Eastern time, 11 Central. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at today, sorry. No, it's at 9 Eastern on the 31st.
Okay.
All right. So I gave you a lot today to go now implement, master, practice, get good at this, especially with the conversion. And then our next call, we'll see where you're at.
All right. That sounds good.
Awesome. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. You too.